Okay, today working on Cadillac CTS, removing the rear brake light. They go bad, pretty common on CTS. This is what it looks like after you remove it from the car. It's very easy, some 10mm bolts. And you can see I cut the wires down here pretty close to the light after I tested it first to make sure that I didn't have some other problem. But check the fuses. I was getting fire back here, 12 volts, actually a little bit more than 12 volts that I needed. So definitely problems up in here. There's a ballast right here, and like a neon type tube setup in here that runs off a ballast. What we're going to do today is we're going to change this to a LED strip. So the first thing we're going to do is remove all the glue off of it to remove the lens from the backing. Honestly, this will be the hardest part of the job. What I'm doing, use a towel, lay it down here so I don't damage the light. Scratch it up, something like that. I've saw some other videos on, using heat gun and so forth. What I have is an X-Acto knife with new blades, and we're here in Louisiana. It's probably 90 degrees right now at around 9 o'clock in the morning. So I've removed some of it already, and here's some of the glue strips. It just comes out. You just cut it and pull it out, and hopefully we'll be able to separate this light pretty quick. So I'm going to take another swing at it down here on this end. What I'm doing is running my X-Acto knife on one side of the glue strip, and then I'm going to run it again on the other side of the glue strip. Once I get a good cut, then what I'll do is pry up on it a little bit. See right there, it'll start coming up, the glue coming out actually. And that's what the glue looks like. So I'm going to work on this thing a little bit, see what I can come up with, and I'm going to stop the video right now and work on it a little bit, and then once I can actually get this baby cracked open, I'll start the filming again. Okay guys, I'm back messing with the CTS rear brake light. What we've done is I paused the video to work on getting some of the glue off of it and separating the actual lens from the apparatus here. So here's what you got. You got some very tough glue in here. See in this channel? This is very, very, very hard to get separated. And you can see the glass tubes in here, the neon, which I didn't break them, surprisingly. And there's your transformer, which that's probably the problem right here, is the transformer. But LED is a lot better in my thoughts. But one thing you see here, how hot, you see the bulb touched right there. But luckily it's underneath the Cadillac emblem, so it's not going to affect the LED lights. So tools that I used was a scraper, towel cutter, whatever you want to call it, and a cutter, screwdriver, use a little pick, use these to pull, which you can use any pliers to pull the glue as I cut it, and then a little carpenter's tool, a spreader. It helped out a lot. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish getting all the glue off of this thing. and prep it for the lights. You see, that old glue is tough. And I'm going to tell you guys, this is not a project for somebody that doesn't have patience, because I'm telling you, it has taken every bit of my patience to separate this thing with the amount of glue that Chevrolet put on the Cadillac. And that's where these pliers come in handy. You can actually, if you can look, you can pull that glue right off. That's leftover glue that was on the light. Now there is a place that you can send your light to have it done professionally, but if you're like me and you're a weekend warrior, you want to do your light yourself. So what I'm going to do is get a wet cloth, all the dirt in there, just dirt over the years, probably why it went bad. Somewhere within the 20 pounds of glue they put on this thing, it got air in there, and it let water and moisture build up, and as you can see, as a result, when that happens, set this over here, when that happens, your transformer gets wet and then it goes out. So you can see I've got a lot more glue to pull out. I just kind of want to show where I'm at the stage of this game, and I'm going to pause it here again in a minute, and then I'm going to decide where I'm going to mount these LEDs to look as good as they can look. You know, I like all the lights to work on a car, especially this third brake light. It's really nice light. It's bright. It's very safe to have. People can see you stopping from miles down the road with this thing. It gleams pretty good. Yeah, it's just something, you know, it's bothering me. Anytime I get a vehicle and it needs some maintenance done to it, I'm gonna jump right in on it. I'm one of these type of people who just can't wait. Very little patience to get things fixed. So anyway, I'm gonna work on this, get all this glue out of here. I'm gonna clean her up real good. Like I said, get a wet washcloth and clean my lens. Get all the glue off so that when I do put my LEDs in here, which you can see these tubes, I'm gonna pull one out and show you again. These tubes come out like this. So that's your tube. Your neon tube. We're going to do away with neon tube. We're going to run LED strips in this channel here, and then also over here in this channel. We're going to run LEDs, and then we're going to wire them the same way back through our connector in the back, and run 12 volts to it. So we're going to see what she looks like. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I would call this a 7. And the only reason I'm going to say that is because there was a couple times during the removal of this lens that I was sure that it was going to break or crack, and thank God it didn't. My hand slipped a few times. I chipped some of the little edges here, which won't make any difference. You don't see them, and I'm going to glue all that real good when I seal the light back on. But it's a booger to get this thing loose. When they put this thing together, they intended on it never to come loose. So that's what you're dealing with. If you see here, see the glue? All that's in there. You know. And should I use a heat gun? Yeah, probably might have helped. You know. But like I say, being in Louisiana, it's hot, and the heat, I think it was just about right for what I was doing here. So we'll finish getting this glue out, and then I'll get right back with you guys, and we'll finish this project up. Okay, back with the CTS headlight LED conversion on the third brake light. What I've done, I cleaned it up like I said I was, and they have a reflective plate that runs in here where the old neon style tubes went. I removed them, removed all the wiring, and they had a little channel in here. So what I did is I took silicone and I ran a bead of silicone across here and I smoothed it with my finger. Then I ran my LED lights across the smooth surface, and that way the LEDs are pointing straight out at the red lens. That's the way I wanted it to look. I want it to be as bright as it can be. So I'm going to test it real quick. I've got a battery here, and we're going to see what we got here. We'll see how they work. Let me set these things up. We'll use a flashlight here. Let's see. There we go. That should hold it still for a minute. And we're going to give it a test and see how they look. And hopefully they look good. So here we go. Yeah. Now that is really bright, and that's 12 volt. So guys, that's the replacement for the third light on the CTS Cadillac. So what I used is LED stripping. It was a 36-inch that you could cut, and it's weatherproof, and it is great for your conversion. So there it is, guys. All right, we'll be back. Let me get this thing sealed up, some black silicone, and I'll go ahead and seal the unit back up and prepare to install it. The wires will run through from one end to the other. I'm going to use the weatherproof plugging that came with it. The only thing missing now will be the big old ballast in there, and the tubes that were really just not getting it. So I'll be back. Alright, CTS back with you, installing the light back to the end of the car. What you have is 8 bolts back here holding it, and then you've got this one plug right here that clips right into that little area right there, holds it in place, and there's your bolts. You got 1, 2, 3, couple over here, and a couple more on this side. So there's them two. All right, finished with the LED conversion on the third brake light. We're gonna give her a test. It started raining a little bit on me here, but we're gonna see what she looks like. Oh yeah, that is nice. So now we do have a third light, brake light. Love it. Anybody trying this, like I said, just take your time and be patient, and you save yourself several $100s.